Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Man, I haven't said that for a little bit. But this week, I got our good old buddy, the one and only, the man, myth, and legend. I got Steve.
Hello.
What's going on, Steve?
Oh no, just just living,
Dude,
living life.
going into the playoffs this year, with how the Chiefs have been, are you surprised they've made it?
I mean, based on the last like 6 weeks of the regular season, yes, very much so. And to see, uh, thinking like Mahomes is still trying to be 2020 Mahomes, and then to see him just like pull off his best, Alex Smith, yeah, it's pretty surprising.
I know if there's anything I learned, because I've always spoke highly of Mahomes, he's one of my favorite players. Don't bet against him. I should have just kept my prediction of the Chiefs going all the way. Yet I changed it and picked the Browns. You saw how well that worked out. But man, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's a different team. MVS finally decided to show up,
Hmm.
and they're playing great football. I mean, probably one of the best defensive teams. Well, the best defensive team Mahomes has ever had,
Easily.
and it's just one of those. I think you called it in that Buffalo game. Whoever scores 24 first will win.
Yeah.
I think that's how that played out. So it's some of it's not as flashy as it has been, but the playoffs have been some of their best football, and
Yeah.
they're going to be playing against the 49ers, who I could argue has been handed two wins. Um, the Packers, they could have beat them. That one was close. Packers definitely could have
Yeah.
beat them. And then Dan Campbell, Lions head coach, if he, I mean, geez, if he was a betting man, he played blackjack. He's the guy that would hit on 20. That's how he played that game.
Yeah. I
uh,
mean,
I think a lot of people were rooting for the Lions. I know if the Lions would have made the Super Bowl, I would have been wearing a Lions shirt today. And I'll talk more about this here in a second. But no, Chiefs made it, man. I'm excited for you. I'm hoping the Chiefs win because I hate the 49ers. But
yeah.
I'm going to start with you on a prediction, Steve. I'm going to put you on the spot right away. Who's winning this game?
I mean, Chiefs.
Is that your unbiased opinion?
Yeah. I mean, based on how they've played the last 3 weeks, or the 3 weeks before, because they obviously didn't play this last week, but um, they held it. I understand it was cold in the Dolphins game. Held them to 7. Uh, held a hot Buffalo team to 24, right?
It was something like
27,
that.
24, and then held the Ravens to 10. And that game it should have been so much worse. It should have been like, it should have been at least 24 to 10. So, and it could have been 27-31. Like, it could have been even worse. So,
It
as
watch.
long as long as Mahomes just, because he seems to have figured out that he doesn't have to push it. Like, he doesn't have to make a big play. He can take what they give him and just keep moving the ball.
I think
So
I think that's
I'm taking the Chiefs.
one of the big things Mahomes has done these playoffs too. He is using his legs. Um, a lot more of these playoffs than he has during the season, which I get. You don't want to get hurt during the season. At this point in time of year, it doesn't
Right.
matter. So I think you're right. He's taking what he can get, and some of those are those run plays with his legs.
Hmm.
If they're there, I know he's taking some hits. Man, dude, watching that Ravens game, I was really kind of indifferent who's gonna win. I'm not a big Lamar fan, so I was like, I'd knock him on his butt just because of that. because there's a lot of
Hmm.
people in the sports industry just high on him. Um, but man, the Ravens, they were a bunch of babies that game. I think after that clothesline to Mahomes, I'm like, destroy them, please. I'm sick and tired of this. And then
Yeah.
whenever Flowers did the taunting, I was like, dude. And then the fumble shortly after that, thought it was great. Thought it was great. Um, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I know a lot of people they're complaining about the fumble thing going into the end zone. Uh,
What about it?
well, offense if they fumble the ball, it goes in the end zone, it's a touchback. A lot of people they
Yeah.
don't like that rule. Me, I'm somebody. How many rules favor the defense? There's so many more rules that favor the
Oh yeah.
offense. So I think you keep it. Just don't fumble the ball.
I mean, you could say the same thing the week prior with Hardman
Yeah.
against the Bills,
Oh yeah. It's the same
and
thing. It's
that was even worse because the Bills didn't even recover it.
yeah.
But I heard one of the shows, morning shows or whatever, the guy was like, "That end zone is the promised land. Like it's it is not like the rest of the field." So I don't really like it because you could fumble 6 inches towards the field and it'd be fine. You'd have the ball on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Or if it was forward fumble, you'd have it, wherever they fumbled. But if it was 6 inches the other way, it's a touchback and the other team just gets the ball. It's not really the greatest rule, but I don't know if they could really.
I don't know if they balance it.
I guess you could just give it back to the offense just because it is uh, it's such a thing that just doesn't happen hardly ever. That it's not a big deal, but at the same time, hold on to the ball. I don't know.
So I mean, it's happened 2 times in the playoffs. So I'm somebody.
Well,
It,
yeah, but
it's I think protect the ball, don't fumble it. Uh, I don't know. I'm it's happened to the Eagles before. Um, I mean, geez, I've seen Deshaun Jackson throw the ball up behind his back at the 1 yard line, running in for a touchdown. So,
yeah,
but but back to the game. I agree with your pick. My unbiased opinion. I do think Chiefs are going to win this game, and I think it's because they're going to get to Purdy. I think the only way the 49ers are going to win this game, they are the more talented team overall, but the only way they're going to win this game is if Brock Purdy plays like an MVP. I don't
yeah.
think he's going to be able to do that against the Chiefs defense. Uh, I think they're going to attack on Purdy,
Hmm.
and I think it'll. I could see this being a low-scoring game, no team getting over 24. Um, and I also think if the Chiefs get ahead by 2 touchdowns, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
So
And honestly, if the 49ers get up by 2 touchdowns, you said earlier, you don't count out Mahomes.
nope.
I said the first playoff run or the Super Bowl run they had, where they came back from the Texans, they came back from I think it was the Titans, they came back from the 49ers. And I said, I'm just never gonna just be like, well, that game's over. And 13 seconds against the Bills even further entrenched that. But I just I don't know if they have the firepower to overcome two scores or 2 touchdowns. 10 points, yeah, I think they can do that. But 2 touchdowns with how good the 49ers are, that would be a steep hill.
I think they can do it. It's going to be tough. It's just if the 49ers get up 2 touchdowns, then they're going to be playing their best football. and I don't think they're
Oh
going to
yeah,
keep up. I could see Chiefs getting into a shootout, but if the 49ers get ahead, it's not that the Chiefs can't score. I think it's going to be the fact that they won't be able to stop the 49ers if they get rolling. If they're going to keep rolling, but
right.
um,
Well, I mean, it's even because the Chiefs can be run on. The Bills ran all over them. Um, but I just, like you said, I think they're going to be able to get to Purdy. I would not be surprised if Chris Jones has like 3 sacks, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs total had like I would if the line was 5.5. I'd be like, I can see over.
yeah, dude,
Yeah,
if Chiefs get over, if they get
Spags
six
is
sacks or more, then I think Chiefs got to win, right? I mean, if they get
yeah,
6 sacks or more,
yeah,
they got to be winning that game. Um,
right. Well, they were. I think they had the second most sacks this year,
yeah,
and that wasn't. I mean, Chris Jones had 10.5.
yeah,
Like it's not all him. Like George Karlaftis had 10.5 or 10 or something like that.
yeah. Well, geez, you have a player like Chris
Uh,
Jones that opens up for the other guys.
hmm
So I could see them having a heyday. I hope they have a heyday. I hope the Chiefs destroy the 49ers in such a way that they question Brock Purdy as a franchise quarterback. I hope it's that kind of just destruction, kind of like what the Packers did to
Yeah,
the Cowboys. Just ruin them.
right.
But
I if the 49ers don't win, I guess Purdy has a year or two left being super cheap, but if they don't win, like they're not going to be able to keep this team together
no,
because they got like 7 or 8 guys. I feel like that make buku bucks, like crazy dollar bills,
yep.
and you
So
just can't do it.
I, I agree. So I think Brock Purdy can be a very he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. And honestly, I think I'd rather build a franchise around Brock Purdy than Lamar Jackson. That might sound crazy, but
Yeah,
I think there's more longevity with Purdy and consistency with Purdy than you'd get with Lamar. Um,
right. Well, in the right system, because I think
yep.
Purdy is a system quarterback.
Oh, yep.
Like,
I won't disagree with that either.
like I don't think you could put him on 10 other teams and have the same success.
Kyle Shanahan, he knows what he's doing there. Um,
Right.
I know, poor Kyle. I'm sure he wants that elite quarterback, somebody that is considered a top five. Just imagine that team.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
sorry.
but
Goodness.
but no, I think Chiefs are gonna win. I know you
Well,
know this.
you got a score for
A
projection.
score. I'm gonna say 27 to 10.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna stomp them.
I was gonna say 27-17, but
So,
27-10. That's pretty good. It's pretty
um,
hefty.
it's dude, it's I don't know. It's crazy. I for how much I hate the Chiefs. I Patrick Mahomes. I think I like Patrick Mahomes way more than I ever did Peyton Manning, and I really was a huge Peyton Manning fan, and I still am. I think what
Yeah.
he's doing is great. Um, I wish Patrick Mahomes would go to a team that I like, but this just shows what he does. Like I think if Patrick Mahomes ever went to the Cowboys, I would be devastated. I don't know what I would do. Um, it's but the Chiefs I could live with. Andy Reid being there, dude. Reid, keep going. There's all these stories about him maybe retiring. I don't think he will. I think he has a lot more in the tank. He loves football. I think I saw something. Andy Reid's not going to retire. He loves football and he loves cheeseburgers. So
Yep.
it's he, and yeah, Reid's just a stand-up guy. So enjoy watching that. I'm a big Travis Kelsey fan. I think all this stuff with T Swift is great. Um, some
People
people.
get so turned over about that fucking shit. Sorry.
Watch your
Language.
mouth.
Language.
Tell me how you
Language.
really feel, Steve.
I
Don't
don't
worry.
care.
I marked this mature. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't care. Like they show her, I guess, more than they should, but at the same time, over a 3.5 hour broadcast, they show her like 4 times. Who
For like
cares?
a total of 10 seconds. And didn't they estimate like over $300 million that she's brought into the NFL because of her
I don't
presence?
know.
I
I
think I
didn't.
saw that number and I'm like, geez, that's insane. Um,
Well, yeah, you got all those girls
all the Swifties.
that are just all about her, had no clue about football, buying jerseys, uh, just I don't know, just getting Paramount Plus subscriptions and actually turning the game on or a game on or whatever. I mean, just you're just getting more fans.
Yeah,
So
that's okay.
yeah, I don't really care.
So, um, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, since you're a big Chiefs fan, I'm gonna put in my 2 cents on this too. There's been a lot of talks about Mahomes and Brady. Like, is Mahomes as great as Brady? What are your thoughts on that?
I think uh I think the first I don't know. I was gonna say that I think the first few Super Bowls that Brady had were definitely because of their just insane defense,
Hmm.
which and is an easy argument to make. Uh, and he was just a better Alex Smith. Like
Yeah,
he was a game manager. He wasn't. He had like one touchdown the first like three Super Bowls they had. It wasn't. I mean, he just didn't turn the ball over.
yeah. No, he
Like he
played good
didn't
football.
didn't.
It's
Yeah. Um. He definitely grew into being the goat, but I would say, obviously, if Mahomes stays on the course that he's on, there's just not going to be any doubt. You cannot, you cannot go to 15 straight AFC Championship games. Like, I'm gonna be disappointed one day with them losing in the playoffs. It's just gonna happen, just like I was 2 years ago when they lost to the Bengals because Andy Reid pulled a Dan Campbell and didn't take the points. But as far as him being the GOAT or Mahomes like pushing him, I think he's pushing him because he's got all the stats. Um, he's in his sixth season starting, and if he wins, he's going to have, I think, tied for second or at least tied for third all-time playoff wins. You can't not be good. Like you can have a crazy defense and still lose games. Like you have to at least be good. But he's done all that with the stats. He's proven he doesn't need Tyreek Hill.
he's
It's
done
gonna
that.
be it's gonna be a crazy sight, Hopefully they can get at least 2 more years out of Kelsey. But I'm not pushing for any more than that because I don't think he's got it in him. And I really, just like Tony Gonzalez and just like all the greats, you really just don't want to watch them try to push it and push it and push it and just fall off a freaking cliff.
Yeah.
Um, but Brady did it with so many different rosters.
Yeah.
I think, in 5 years, if Mahomes is still really consistent, um, I think that would be a lot easier to make an argument. So it's too soon right now, I think. Um, if he just kind of leveled off and it was not so consistent, obviously, I it would be a harder argument to make him the GOAT. But if he wins 5 Super Bowls, I think you could say he's at least co-GOAT. Like like if he doesn't win another Super Bowl, I think you could easily say, unless he just falls off a cliff, that he's easily the second best of all time. And I know there's Joe Montana, I know there's Steve Young, I know there's Peyton Manning, but those guys didn't do it that consistently on their own.
Yep.
Like Montana and Steve Young had crazy defenses and Jerry Rice. So, I mean, it's, I don't think you'll be able to tell for another 4 or 5 years, but um, if Mahomes can do it without Kelsey, and I don't think Andy Reid has another 5 years in him. If he does it after Andy Reid's gone, then I think you could say pretty definitively that he's the GOAT. Because Brady had Belichick the entire time. And
Yeah.
you could say, ever since Brady left, the Patriots haven't been near as good, but that's what you get for trying to invest in Mac Jones. So,
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of the argument like Belichick kind of fell off. I mean, I think there needs to be a different GM in that seat. Focus more on coaching, what you're really good at, but let's get somebody else in there be GM. I think that's what Belichick should do. I don't think
mhm,
he'll ever give that up. But I think that's also a result for why he's not a head coach now. He's wanting too much power, and teams are afraid to do it.
for sure.
So, I think your assessment with the whole Mahomes Brady, I think it's pretty dang spot on. I know with how Mahomes has been playing these past 5 6 years, it's great football. It's like how long can you keep going? And he's been making the Super Bowl because of his talent, not because of the defense.
Hmm.
This year's been the exception, but then we've seen in the playoffs, it's like no, that's Patrick Mahomes. Like he's every bit there doing what he needs to do. So I think this would almost be his best win if he pulls this off when everybody was counting the Chiefs out. They're going to be like,
Oh yeah,
I'm never going to count him out. I just won't. Because you never know whenever he's going to just light it up. I think if the Chiefs win this year, I'm more open to listen to the discussions, but it's really more like you could start the discussion, but know that he's not there yet. Uh, and then
right.
I think another thing when it comes to the GOAT, because that's a very subjective, like how do you define that? Brady played till he was how old? And at that level, that's insane.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we also said over so many years, give Brady some weapons. The years that he had weapons, holy cow, he lit it up. Like after the whole thing with
Yeah,
Randy Moss, you're like, go get him a top five receiver. And then he wouldn't have had that 10-year drought of Super Bowls. Because there's a long time where Brady didn't have one, and then he started winning them again.
I
Um,
mean, he had Gronk
he
and
had
he had
Gronk. He had what?
Edelman. Edelman's really good. Wes Welker's really good. Like
it's with
he did
those,
not have weapons.
he didn't have the elite weapon. He was like Peyton Manning. He made like all the players around him better. Patrick Mahomes does the same thing. But then you throw a weapon like Tyreek Hill, it's game over. Like it's a cheat code.
For
Whenever he
sure.
had Randy Moss as a cheat code, whenever he played for the Buccaneers, that was one of the best offenses he had. He had Mike Evans, and Gronk. I mean, it's tight ends are big, um, but anyways, circle back. I think Mahomes pulls it out this year. The discussion's gonna. I mean, I think the discussion can kind of start there. I'd be okay listening to it, but it's more like, okay, we're on watch. Like, let's see how this story plays out. Will he keep winning after Reed retires? That'll be a big
Right.
statement too. I do know if Reed retires, that's going to be a very eye-opening job. So I'd like to think you'll get a good coach in there. So that'll be helpful. Now Brady, he went to a good coach whenever he left, in a good team and good
Yeah.
system. I think with tight ends, the fact that Travis Kelsey has a few rings already, I think he'll walk away whenever he's ready. Uh, T Swift might have something to do with that too. Might be like, you know what? I got my rings. I'm happy. I'm already considered one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Hmm.
So yeah, and geez, there's so many tight ends out there that are I think are underutilized. Kyle Pitts is somebody that comes to mind. Go like it's in Mahomes, he'll bring somebody up to the next level. Whoever they get, he'll just make them better. Um,
Yeah. I, it's just such a crazy thing to watch Mahomes and Kelsey
yeah.
because they're beyond like I know what he likes to do. I
Oh
know
yeah.
what Travis likes to do as he runs down the field. I just know what he's going to do because I mean, and that's one thing I think. I think Kelsey, yeah, he might if they win, he'll have 3 rings. But I think he just, I don't know. I think he likes making money because uh, no matter what happened, like
I'm sorry. Did you see
they,
the thumbs up show up? Like
yeah.
you did this, and that's pretty cool. Sorry. Go ahead.
um, they're not married, so he's not, and he's got more than enough money. Like he's not like, look at all this money I could get a hold of. I think he just, and just like Jason, I think he just loves football too much. And it's easy to love football when you're winning.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
I don't know.
Jason Kelsey said that he wants to be back at some capacity next year. He doesn't know if he's going to actually retire yet, but he wants to be with the organization. So I think he'll still be involved at some capacity. I hope he's playing. Um, Travis, I think he has 2 more years in him. Two more good years. Just go get
Yeah.
weapons around him, and then he won't be getting double teamed, and you'll still get great numbers out of him. So,
Hmm.
but um, all right. Well, I told myself I was going to keep this one short. We're getting close to 30 minutes here. Uh, I mentioned earlier, so I got the Chiefs shirt. Every year, at least going forward, I'm gonna try to buy a shirt from the team that I want to see win the Super Bowl. So I want to see the Chiefs win this year. I hate the 49ers. Um, Really, the only teams in the NFC that I did not want to see win at all was the Cowboys and the 49ers, and the 49ers had to win it. I think any other team, if they would have made it to the Super Bowl, I'd be buying that shirt over the Chiefs. But the 49ers got there. So I got a Chiefs shirt.
Why do you hate the Chiefs again?
Uh,
Or why do you dislike the Chiefs?
so long time ago, Steve, you kind of contributed to this too. And then even when I was in college, a lot of just arrogant fans. They're in every fan base, right? But see, there's a lot more here in Missouri for rightful reason. Okay, and I think one of the things that killed me is I'd always hear all these crazy things, and I've said this. Steve, you probably remember. I'm like, you need a true quarterback. You need a quarterback. You need a quarterback. Even when we had Alex Smith, I'm like, you need a top tier quarterback. That's what you need. Look what they're doing now.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they have arguably the greatest, most talented quarterback to ever do it. And yeah, go Chiefs. It's there were people at Warrensburg that were a million times worse than around this area. I know Orson and I would give you a hard time. You are nothing compared to what I heard in Kansas City or in Warrensburg.
Well,
So
that's at
it's
the same time they were college kids
oh yeah, oh we were
and
too.
just like, yeah.
We've matured. We have kids now. It's like yeah, I like to poke some fun, poke the bear just a little bit, but I'm not gonna be a complete jerk about it. It's just really more like rub salt in the wound type kind of thing.
Right.
Um, Because no, dude, I'll be the first one to say about Eagles fans in Philadelphia, they're monsters. They are
Well,
absolute
yeah.
monsters. Um, Whenever I'm working, I'm talking with vendors, they ask me like, "Oh, you excited about the Chiefs?" I'm like, "No, I hate the Chiefs." It's like, "Well, who are you a fan of?" And I explain the Eagles. Like, "Oh, you from Philadelphia?" I'm like, "Actually, no." I'm like, I can only imagine what it's like going to an Eagles game. And then they start telling me these stories. They're like, "Yeah, they're insane." I'm like, I've heard. So,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, every team has
oh, they do.
its rabid fans,
They do.
and I get pretty rowdy when I go to games, but like I'll get super. I'm pretty superstitious when I watch, especially in the playoffs. Like I have the same shirt that I wore to. I don't think I wore it throughout the regular season, but I wore it to the Dolphins game, and I haven't washed it, and I've worn it the last two games. So, and I'm gonna wear it Sunday. But that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just what I do. I'm like that. So
So, um, all right. Well, to wrap up real quick, uh, two things. Next episode will be it'll be a few weeks, maybe a month. It'll be talking a lot about the upcoming Dynasty League. We'll start sharing some more stuff because, like I said, uh, I got kind of like semi commitments from people, but I'm not looking for hard commitments until after the NFL draft. My plan is to have everything shared by then, and then we'll start getting things locked in. Just some big key things that I know that we're gonna do. It will be in sleeper. Year one is the only year that there's fees, and that's just for the trophy. After that, there's no money involved. In a sense, you could call it a pride league, and the fees would be $20 or $30. It depends on however much the trophy is. And I'm looking to get a good trophy. I'll show some designs on the next episode, but this trophy will be somewhere between probably $200 $300, and it'll probably be a 3 foot trophy. Uh, I do plan on getting a engraving of the league founders, so everybody's name is on the trophy
mm,
for being in year one, and then the draft, the year one draft, that will be a beast because that's going to be 25 30 players.
Jesus.
I'm still trying to decide if I want to do 30. I know after year one, there'll be a 5 player draft or 5 round draft for rookies and players that just were sitting on waivers, and
Yeah.
that'll just be 5 rounds. But the first year, I don't know if I'm gonna mess with that and just do a 25-player draft, and that'll be online. It might be that we get together and do it, but I'm looking to do that online. In my mind, I'm looking to do that either Sunday night or Monday of Labor Day weekend. Now, this first time around, like after year one, it will definitely be one of those nights, probably the Monday night after Labor Day, but it's 5 rounds. Those rounds should go quick, especially if they're online. But this first draft, I'm gonna focus on trying to find a time that's gonna work with everybody. It might be in the middle of the week and we start the draft at 7 o'clock at night online. If we do that, it'll be done by 10. or we could pick a Friday night or Saturday night. I'm gonna get feelers because I want to make sure everybody can be available for that online draft.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, the best thing about online draft would be that you can't take uh, 7 smoke breaks.
there's that too. So, and
I mean,
something that
you
I
can take
might
breaks, but
and something I might be able to do with
uh,
sleeper. I need to check. I might be able to pause the draft and we continue the next night. So we might do it over the course of 2 days.
yeah,
So that's just the thought. It's just getting through that first initial draft because all drafts after that they're going to be fairly quick. It'll be 5 rounds,
right,
um,
right.
and yeah, it'll go pretty quick. Um,
Hmm.
Scoring, I guess another big thing will be relatively the same that we're doing in our main league. I will say bonuses will have to be a little bit different. I can't make it the exact same in sleeper, so I got to figure out how I
Hmm.
want to do that. And I'm looking to do half point PPR. So that's what we're doing in the current league. I think half point PPR is going to be fine. Um, there will be no kickers and no defenses, and
Boo.
there'll be additional positions that you'll be playing. So it's either 9 or 10 players playing every week.
Gotcha.
So those deep drafts or those deep picks that you have that you would normally be on your bench in our main league, you're going to be playing them in this league.
Right.
And throughout the year, you could draft or you could trade draft picks. Like it's going to be a good time, and I'll show how we're going to establish draft order and all that later. Year one will probably be names drawn out of a hat. I don't know of a good
Yeah.
way to get around that, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I think the big thing is it's free. If your team's not doing too well, well, you can work on building it without losing money. It's going to be about how many plates you got on that trophy. So,
Hmm.
but I'll have more about that later. And then the last thing, real quick, Steve, how's your last place presentation coming along?
Good. I got I got pretty solid ideas for everybody, and I got them wrote down so I don't forget. I still have to I still have to figure some stuff out as far as myself. um, because I need to be more harsh on myself. Make fun of myself a hell of a lot more than I try to make fun of everybody else. But
Just
I
yeah, you got to
think
remember it
I
is a
think
punishment. You got to find a way to roast yourself.
I know.
If you need
I
ideas, let
think
me know. I'll help you.
well, I'll take ideas from everybody. I don't care.
No, ideas for
Just for
you.
my just for me.
Yeah.
I got everybody else covered. I think so. Because I mean, if people see it and don't laugh, that's on them. I don't care.
They'll laugh. Don't worry.
So, oh, there's gonna be tons of people that are gonna laugh, and there's gonna be tons of people. I don't. Yeah, not. I don't want to give too much away, but
No.
I'll take suggestions for myself for sure,
All right.
100%. So don't be afraid to either text me or list it in Discord.
I might. Well, let's see if the Chiefs win. If they find a way to lose, I might have some stuff for you.
Okay.
I got. I think the Nick Sirianni see ya meme that is gonna burn me and you for the future. Like it's something that I could use on you. It's gonna piss you off. It's something that you could use on me. I'm like, damn it, I deserve that. um. So no, I'll help you with some ideas, and trust me, I know the other guys in the league. They could give you some ideas too if you want them, but you can work with me on that first if you want.
Yeah,
So
like I said, I got I think pretty solid stuff for everybody, and it wasn't something I really just had to sit down and think about. Like it was just all stuff that come off top of my head, and to me, that's the best kind of stuff. So
you remember that video I did where I just made fun of everybody in the league?
Yeah.
Even myself, I didn't get last place. I just did it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of in the moment stuff.
Yeah.
So
Just like, oh shit, that's yep, okay, got it. Yeah, I was just at work one day. I was like, what can I do for AJ? I was like, oh, yep, got it. They're just pretty Teutonic stuff.
yeah,
So,
so
but I'll take suggestions for me.
I'll send him your way. Don't worry.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, everybody, good luck. Those that are Chiefs fans, good luck. I hope the Chiefs win. I know I won't lose sleep over it if they don't win. Um, but I'm rooting for you. So go
Hey,
Chiefs.
thanks.
I feel dirty saying that, but I'm a avid Chiefs fan until Sunday night. The moment that they hold up that trophy, I'm gonna tell them to get wrecked. So, and we'll see them next year.
hmm
All right. Well, as always, if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Peace.